Okay, here's a little tiny ring nebula, M57. Some of you remember looking at M57 through my 16-inch in an exterminator. It looked like a Hubble picture. And now it's just a little tiny, really little tiny thing using smaller aperture, but it's just as bright. We're running this at 2 seconds, folks. That's not bad at all for 2 seconds. So what we're going to do is increase the zoom, and there you go. Let's try this. 2-second exposure, and let's increase the zoom a bit more. You folks will have to wait about 30 seconds for the image to upload. We sure detect the central star, and what I could do is pump up the exposure from 2 seconds to 3.1 second like we had it earlier. Now we're using a lot of zoom, so to get a really good high-resolution view of the ring nebula, we would need to go at f8 or even use a Barlow. But there is a detection of the central star a little bit in there. Nonetheless, this is a small little guy in there. Okay, we're back at 2-second exposure, and we're going to go to super wide field like most people like it. Now, we're going to increase the exposure to, with this wide field, let me go up to 4 seconds. See what 4 seconds going to give us. Wow, a lot brighter for sure. Nice. We're detecting a lot of faint stars in the background, and this, for me, this is the stuff that I like looking at. The detection of faint object, faint stars in the background, without having an image that's overwashed, and that's a proof of high dynamic range. You're picking up really faint stuff, so the back illuminated CMOS sensor really speaks for itself here. Quite amazing. I'd be very curious to try this at f8. That'll require to remove the focuser and remove some rings. I'm not going to do it now, but next time I think I will. It might be worth it to do. It's not bad at all. Not too bad at all. Brian, it is. Yes, you're very close. This thing is nearly like the exterminator performance using a large chip. Yeah, we'll try that. Hang on a sec. I'll bump it up to 75% here. There you go. There's 75%. Of course, the image is going to start to break down, but you do see the central star. Yep. There's a fair amount of stars in there that you can see with the 16-inch, for an example, because the magnification is so much higher. You're going to see more stars in it. Here, we're using electronic zoom to attempt to see some of the stars. 75, and here's 100. Yeah, we see 2 stars, the central and the one at 1 o'clock. Oh, there's another one at the bottom too. So yeah, we're picking up all the stars in there. They're faint and fuzzy, of course. That's because we're using the zoom. But it's there. It's there. Very, very nice. That's not bad at all for super high zoom like this. If I take the focal reducer, our resolution would increase a lot more. We'd see more detail in the ring. Here, let's go back to fit the window. Yes, Matt. The camera is absolutely it performs incredibly well. I'm still amazed of what we're getting out of it. I'm really surprised. Using the higher grade component in it, we've been able to pump up the gain a lot more than normally, and there's no noise in it. I mean, the noise is very minor. If you add maybe 3 or 4 images, your noise is going to disappear completely. And that's the part that I like a lot. Okay, we're going to lower the exposure again to 2 seconds because it gives us the feel of a exterminator a little bit, or an extreme. And what I'm going to do is we're going to salute another target. I hope the scope's going to work okay. So bear with me for a sec, folks. We're going to swing on something else. Well, this is going to be a little bit too low to the horizon, but we'll have to go through a lot of turbulence to look at this object. It's not high enough. This is Alberio, I believe. I'm amazed the mount's working good tonight. Holy Moses. Okay, this is 2 seconds, our all-time favorite. We're going to have to pump that up to 5-second exposure and probably increase the gain a little bit more. But I'm curious to try something. We're going to go into the, yeah, it's very low to the horizon right now. So we're going to get this washed out background. And you can tell that by the colors of the stars, they're not pure white. So you know that you're going through either light pollution, which, yeah, that's what it is. Because I can't see any star to the horizon here. My skies are gone way, way, way bad. Now, one way to improve that a little bit is go to the gamma. Whoop, that's the wrong adjustment. Hang on. Go to the gamma and increase the gamma. So now we're 5-second exposure. And we're going to get a little bit darker background. Let's try a different setting on the gamma, but still the object doesn't come through enough. So that means light pollution's in the way, and very thick haze that we're having, it looks like, or something of the sort. So what we could do is this. Let's put back the gamma where it was. Let's change mode. Alright, let's go back down to 2 seconds. We're going to go to the trigger mode this time, because I was in video mode before. So, let's go trigger mode, and we're going to pump that up to 10 seconds. I think my tracking is good enough for that tonight, so let's give it a try and see what it's going to give us. From 5 seconds to 10-second exposure. Oh, there you go. All right, we just need that little extra boost. You can tell by the background of this, the color of the background. It's just light pollution and haze. And I've got the gamma set pretty high at the moment. So we're going to increase the gamma all the way to the maximum it could go. Well, you could tell actually that's the issue, because you're seeing the dust bunny. That means you need to have ambient light to enter the optical system, and you see the dust bunny at 10 o'clock position. So that means the air glow, pollution, whatever there is out there, is entering the optical tube, and it's casting light all over the place, which is showing us a dust bunny that's out of focus. Yeah, it's only 30, yeah, it's about 30 degrees up, so it's quite low. No, that's correct, Bernie. There's very little warm and hot pixels in there. You don't need a cooler on CMOS. You can't cool a CMOS. It's impossible. If you do that, you're going to damage it with time. It's not going to last long. I explained that many times, and it's on the website telling why. A CCD you can, but a CMOS you cannot. The simple reason is they have other circuitry in there, and this is what I'm going to show at the video star party here. I'm still working on a presentation. In fact, this week I took about about 20 images of circuitry, the difference between a CCD and a CMOS, and its associated circuitry, and why you cannot cool it, and why you can cool a CCD. So this is going to be shown at the Video Star Party. I'm going to have a little talk on that, and among a few other talk. No, there's no dark frame here, folks. There's nothing of that. No dark frame. Here's something I'm going to try. We're at 10-second exposure. My gamma is set all the way up. It doesn't go any further than that. Here, I want to try something else with you folks. So we're just going to do a bit of experimenting. I'll reset back the gamma where it goes, and I'm going to go to the histogram, and let's attempt to adjust the left side. Okay, so we're picking up blue, which means basically, yeah, blue's not quite right. That's okay. It's too aggressive. That's why I don't use histogram too often. I would rather leave this at default, like that. This is me, though. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you guys. I like to adjust a few things, so put it back where it was. Let's never mind the histogram. Let's go back to the gamma. The gamma does a much better job. This is the midpoint between the high and the low end. Now here's the other thing we could swing, is the contrast. So let's adjust the contrast a little bit and see what it's going to give us. There you go. Alright, let's increase the contrast a bit more, quite a lot more in fact. Not as aggressive. There you go. Here we've got the contrast, we've got the gamma. Actually, this is how I adjust the Mallin Cam Universe, strictly with the contrast and gamma, and I get to have a really nice background. There you go. That's not bad at all. Now we got that under control. What we could do is we're going to stop the loop, and I want to pump this up to 20 seconds because I've got the mount to do it. I never do that with my 16-inch, but I'm just curious. We'll try to detect some anglo, and I bet you we won't see it. Jim Thompson came to the shop several months ago when I was testing the prototype. We did an exposure of 10 minutes. We couldn't detect any anglo, and noise was so low. I couldn't wait to try it out under the stars, and sure enough, the result is, okay, this is too much. So obviously we are going to have to lower the gain. So the gain's too high for the amount of exposure, 20 seconds. So let me lower this down to 11 from 50, and let's start back again to 20-second exposure. It's overexposed to 20 seconds. Can you believe that? And we've got a dust bunny that I'm going to have to take care of later. Okay, here it comes. So now I had to lower the gain because we just got too much gain. Okay, I lowered the gain too much. Hang on, bear with me for a sec, folks. We're going to try this here. We'll go from 11 to 43. Got to keep in mind that this object's only 30 degrees high, and it's right in the muck, and the worst part of my sky, one of the worst part of my skies here, so right, light pollution and everything else. So let's try another 20 seconds with a little bit higher gain. There you go. So the gain's at 43 and the exposure's 20 seconds. Have we gained anything? Somewhat we did. Somewhat we did. Here's what I'm going to try here. Hang on. We don't have enough red in there. It's at minus 27. It should have been at 0. There you go. We're going to lower it down. Here we go. At 0. Right there. This is where red should be. So the green is too sensitive on that sensor, so we have to lower the green. So now we're getting a tad of the red in there, a nice bluish center. So there's no dark frame, there's no nothing at all in there. Wow, now it's too red. So that means infrared light pollution. Street lights and things like this are reflecting into the haze, and that's what's happening right now. Alright, let's lower that back down where she was. Oh, there goes the satellite. I like those. They always ruin your image, but I kind of need to go to go by right through the frame. What are the odds of that happening? So you'll be able to count how many seconds here, which is obviously 20 seconds. And the moon's casting a nasty glow on the ground here. There you go. There, that's nice. Okay, I like that. Let's readjust the red a little bit more. Minus 13 here. Minus 41 on the green, and the blue set at 0. I like to do the manual color balance instead of the auto white balance, because it's infrared light from ground lighting, such as street lights and things like that, reflects back into the air where there's haze. You're going to see brown or red all over the place. So I like to do it manually. That way you adjust less red, so it'll pick up a little bit less of the infrared being reflected from the ground up towards the sky. Okay, what else we could go at? Oh, there's so many objects here to go through. I don't know where to begin. The moon's casting a pretty nasty glow. I also got to think I got to get up here at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So I'm debating here if I should just pull the plug or keep that for another night, and I'll have a list of objects. Now I know how the 8-inch is working with this camera and what kind of exposure that we're getting. Oh, it goes another satellite. Holy Moses, we're lucky tonight or what? It nearly hit M27 too, and this one's flying. It's pretty neat to watch. Here's the next refresh and it's gone. Yep. Oh, there's another one on top. Okay. What is this, Star Wars or something's going on? Yeah, with this new space command, the United States decide to have Space Force. God knows what it is for. They're probably practicing with lasers up there. Who knows? Anyways, we're going to pick up a lot of satellites in there, so it's kind of fun to watch. It's interesting to watch as well. Okay, folks, now I know the horsepower of the camera and the 8-inch. I'm going to make a list next time and of galaxies. I like to do faint galaxies with this, and this would be my next run at it, I guess you could say. I certainly would like to take a picture of this here. Hang on. Alright, here's a picture of it. We're going to save that to the hard drive. That is M27 at 20 seconds. There you go. And it's going to go in pictures. And also I got to put down here DS10c. Alright. Oh, wait a minute. I want to try something else. Let me go to... we could go to M82. Yeah, that's all we're going to do, guys and girls. Let's go to M82. So let's get out of the loop mode, the trigger mode. Let's go back to video at 2.1 second exposure. Let's increase the gain, and let's put back our gamma and contrast where it was, the default. There, we're going to be able to see M27, good enough. Alright, I'm going to swing the scope on M82, and I'll be right back. Hang on. And I'm going to have to turn the dome as well, manually. we go, slowly but surely. Holy cow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, the go-tos are more forgiving when you have a wider field of view. Whoa! This is cool. Okay, I've never seen M81, M82 in the same field of view unless if you're using a refractor. Wow. Okay, well, that's impressive. Very impressive, to say the least. Okay, do we need more exposure? This is 2.1 seconds, folks. Let's go to 5 seconds and see what it's going to give us. Wow. Jumping, gee whiz, this is unbelievable. Okay, well, let's go for more then. Just a sec. Let me go down to 2 seconds again. And we're going to swing that to... we're going to switch mode here to trigger mode. And I don't think we need 20 seconds. I like to see 10. So let's start the loop. We're going to get the gamma and the contrast ready. Now what we're looking at is 2 seconds, so we got both of them in the same field of view. Wow. For an 8-inch, it's not bad. Wow. Okay, we've got light pollution from somewhere, because look what's happening. The background is really, really, really bad towards this end of the sky. So let me bring down the gamma and the contrast. Now it could be reflection of inside my dome, but the scope's got baffles in it. That shouldn't happen. Holy jumping, gee whiz. Wow. Okay. Much better than I thought. I was always curious to see with that sensor and the focal reducer, the universe focal reducer, if we'd be able to fit both of them in there. All the years, since '66, I'm involved in astronomy. I was 6 years old. That was 65. And I've never been able to image both of them in the same field of view because I always use bigger aperture and higher f ratio. But wow, we're picking up pretty good detail in there. Very, very nice. Yes, I'm not too far from Giant Tiger. In fact, we're facing the parking lot of Giant Tiger. So Giant Tiger, the Canadian company that set up all those lights, thanks a lot. I beat you. You can shove your light pollution where the sun don't shine. We're going to keep beating the crap you're sending us here out in the dark side of south of Ottawa in Johnstown, Ontario, Canada. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Come to think of it, Mitch, it is. Wow, I can't believe that we're seeing both of them in there, folks. This is pretty neat. Very, very impressive. Wow. Telescope's tracking good. The go-to's good. This is simply amazing. It's something I didn't expect. I'll tell you that much. I did not expect to have both of them in there. So this is 10-second exposure. I've got the gamma set 1.54 and the contrast is 66 and the gain is at 75. And I'm running on the high conversion gains. This is just amazing. Let me lower the gamma a little bit and see if we could get slightly lighter background and lower the contrast a bit. There you go. Yeah, you can tell we're picking up light pollution in the background. That's okay. I don't use filters. I don't want to use filters. That's just me. I'd rather use the electronics of the camera to beat or at least to reduce the light pollution. Here, I'm going to set up everything to default. This is what it looks like with the light pollution. So you increase your contrast and increase your gamma. Find the sweet spot for your gamma. This is very important to beat light pollution. There you go. Here's your result. Oh, just longer exposure, most likely, but I got lots of light pollution. So what we need is infrared. We need to pick up infrared. I would need to turn up the red a little bit. And what's going to happen, because of the light pollution, the background's going to turn red as well a little bit. Because I've got lots of light pollution towards there. That's where the new distribution center of Giant Tiger is built. And they're casting a massive amount of glow. It's not going to be fun at the video star party to deal with this, but we're going to have a challenge. All of us that will come here with telescopes and camera, we're going to have a challenge. It'll be near the end of the full moon, and we're going to have the light pollution to deal with. So we're going to see which camera, who's going to be able to set that up to reject all this extra light we don't need. I'm just dying to know what technique other uses. By the way, Matt, I do see the spiral on my screen here. I don't think so you see it. What it would take probably is longer exposure. Let me try longer exposure, Matt, okay? And okay, this is 10 seconds. I gotta bump that up to 20. And I am going to have to readjust the gamma and the contrast. So it comes 20 seconds. You won't see the change right away. Yes, I am. Jim, absolutely right. I always use video mode. I'm going to use the trigger mode only if I need the extra horsepower, so to speak. So, you know, if you need that extra, then go ahead and use what you need. But otherwise, I would say a good 95%, 90% of the time, I'll use just the video mode because your gain is instant. You don't have to wait for the refresh to see the changes. And that proves to anyone who says that these cameras are not video, they are. Because when you use video mode, you're using the internal of the camera. So you're using the gain inside the camera. If you use trigger mode, look at the trigger mode, it says software. That means it's the software that does the timing for the exposure and not the camera. If you go to video mode, it's the inside of the camera that does everything. You're using the full electronics inside. Anyways, Matt, you seeing a little bit of some of the spiral. Anyways, I see them here, but everything's overexposed. So that's where people will be doing image processing. They'll take several exposures, longer exposures, short exposures. They're going to blend pictures, try to get the best of it, and it's called artwork. It's no longer called astrophotography. Sorry, I'll disappoint some of the people out there, but I like to see the truth. The camera picks up what you feed. You know, the camera sees what you're feeding it, and the scope sees this. That's how it is. And if you do the proper adjustment, you'll be able to reject everything that you need to, or pretty close to it. So I'm going to stop the exposure for a minute. I'm going to go back down to about maybe 15 seconds. Yeah, let's try the 15 seconds and see what it does. Okay, sounds good, Mitch. Thank you so much. I won't be too long. I'm going to jump on M51 in a few minutes. I'm dying to see that. And there you go. This is 15 seconds. M82 is overexposed, but we do see the spiral in M81. So this is pretty cool. Here, I'm going to put everything at default here. The gamma is at default and contrast. So wait a couple seconds here and you're going to see the end result. Oh, this is pretty cool. Wow, the moon's casting a heck of a glow on the ground. It's quite strong, actually. I see the shadows in the dome on the ground, and I won't need my flashlight to go back home. Okay, folks, let's go back on the video mode, and which will be 2.1 second. I'm so used to the exterminators, I go 2.1 seconds, and That way you get to see your object go by, and you get to swing this on another target. I'm going to increase the gain here for a moment. See if we get a little bit more out of it. Yeah, hang on a sec. Let me bring up the exposure just a tad. 3 seconds and see what it does. Okay, this is 3 seconds. Wow. We see nice detail of M82 on the left. I actually see spirals here. Rebroadcasting it, we lose a lot of resolution and ability to resolve things. But at least it allows us to view nice things nonetheless. Okay, let me bring back the gain. Alright, I'm going to swing this on M51, folks. You all got me going here. Alright, hang on a second. I'm going to get up. Turn the dome. And M51 it is. Might as well go there while the mount works. Oh, the sun's still up here. Alright, I see. This bowling alley sound you're listening to, it's the steel dome being turned manually on the wheels, steel wheels. Beautiful dome. Okay, here we go. Hopefully we'll be able to see it. The beauty of using smaller aperture allows us to have more forgiving as far as go-tos are concerned and seeing a much wider field of view. Okay, here he goes. Here it is. I'm going to center that a little bit better. Whoop. Yeah, that's good. Okay, alright, here we go. M51 at 2 seconds, not bad. And I know we're going to need more horsepower, that's what I call it. Let's go to trigger mode and go for a 15-second shot. And I am pointing directly in Giant Tiger's light pollution, and I mean directly in it. It's glowing inside the dome here, that's how bad it is. But anyways, let's see the result of 15 seconds, and I'll get ready. See, you can actually see on the lower left a reflection of the light at Giant Tiger. They're entering in my optical tube. This sucks. They got to do something about this, but if I do, the whole neighborhood's going to hate me. Wow, look at that. Oof. If it would be for that light pollution, folks, we'd see something pretty nice. Wow. Nice. Very nice. Okay, let me adjust the contrast a little bit and the gamma. These are the two things I play with, especially with the Mallin Universe camera. It's imperative that you got to use those. I got too much light pollution there. If I'm going to attempt to pump that up some more, I'm afraid we are going to interfere quite a lot with this light pollution thing. Wow. Beautiful spirals. Hang on a sec, I got an idea. Cool. I got to use the zoom, and look at the detail in there. This is pretty cool, actually. Wow, you gotta like this. Okay, hang on, let's back out a bit. Yeah, that should be alright. no, 50% was nice. We got rid of that light pollution at the lower left. Nope, I didn't try average stack. There's no need for me to do that, but I certainly could try it. I know the software hangs up a little bit on this computer because she's pretty well overloaded, but let me try it out there for a minute, Matt. That'll clean up the noise in there quite a lot. So we're going to go average, deep sky, and we are going to use only about 4 frames. You need 4 or 5 frames, no more. I don't need to align anything. I think it's tracking fairly well. So let's enable it and see what's going to happen. I know my computer is lagging here quite a lot. I could see everything moving in slow motion, so this is pretty cool. So let's try the average to get rid of the noise a little bit. Every sensor that is not interlaced, you're always going to have a grainier look, and this is what you're seeing here. So let's wait and see what's going to happen here, if it's going to stack properly. I know there's a little bit of issue with the software on certain computers only, so the engineers are working on that now. Oh yeah, here it is. Wow. Hey, we got one output of frame. 2 frames are... See, 2 frame made a major difference here in the image. Wow. 3 input just got fed. We need 4 in all. There you go. Look at the noise disappear. You do not need a Peltier cooler, guys and girls. Those days are over. With the new software, capabilities of the software, and the electronics of the camera, you really don't need it. This is picture quality here. That is impressive. That is so cool. Look at that. Okay, we got 2 frames stacked right now. So 4 input went in, output is only 2. So this is 2 runs. Wow, look at this. The noise is gone, and it's going. The more it's going to go. Here's the 3rd frame that just walked in there. We could actually see detail. Now that means I could stop the stack. Okay. We're going to stop the stack, and we're going to switch. Watch this. We're going to go longer exposure, okay? Hang on a sec. Bear with me for a moment. We're going to show you how this works. Again, I haven't touched anything else in there. No histogram, no anything, except for the stacking to get rid of noise on its average. Let's go, I don't know, 20 seconds maybe? How about 25? Okay, let's push our luck and go 25 seconds. The gain's at 75. I find that a little bit high, but let's see what 25 seconds is going to give us instead of 15 seconds. I'm just dying to know, that's all. I'm just as curious as you guys. I'm used to big aperture, so a little aperture for me is new, more or less. Hang on, it's coming. Watch out. Okay, this is... Eesh, I'd say it's a bit too much, but here, let's try to stack 5 image. But now the stacking is average, and it's not to gain anything except lower the noise. The noise is random. Progressive scan sensors, whatever it's CCD or CMOS, always give you a grainy look, and this is what you're looking at, because I've got the zoom on at 50%. Okay, so the graininess is going to disappear because every frame or every 25 seconds will have another set of noise that's not at the same place. You got millions in there of little noise, and this is just the nature of the beast. That's how progressive scan works. I was never a champion of progressive scan, but you need the software to stack average, not additive, but average. So let's wait and see if we're going to be able to get this cleaned up a little bit. And if we do, we're going to get a lot more view out of M51. And this is zoomed in, by the way. Well, let's have a bit of patience here. Yeah, the moon is up, and I'm right over Giant Tiger parking lot with a crazy, stupid light. Megawatts worth of it, which they don't even need. They've got 3 giant 3 feet diameter spotlight that spots over 2,500 feet in the air to light up the flags at the front of the building. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. But it is what it is. I got to deal with it. There's not much we can do. Okay, so we got one output fed right now. We're selected 5 frames to average stack. What that's going to do is going to put the noise average. That means at random. It's going to stack it at random. And at one point, the background's going to become smooth and noise-free. You don't need Peltier coolers. That means one less wire going to the camera. How many of you complain about exterminators and the extreme? There's too many wires at the back of the camera. Well, welcome to science. That's what it is. Well, now we got a camera that has one wire. One does it. You don't need Peltier coolers. Especially in, wow, look at this, how much it cleaned up already. That is incredible. Stacking feature works very, very well. And we've got 3 frames only here. What I'm going to do though, I don't know if I could change the gamma while we're stacking. I'm going to try it out, folks. So if you see this thing crap out on me, don't be too disappointed. I just changed the gamma and the contrast so we could get a darker background. But I don't know if we could do it while stacking. Probably not. Probably not. It's going to take a little while for this to build up. So here, the noise is just about gone. Wow, isn't that something else? The exposure's 25 seconds. Hey Ken, how are you? Glad that you're here. 25-second exposure. You try that with another camera. There you go. We got the maximum stack. All the noise is gone, except the big fat dust bunny that I got there. And now we're starting to see some extended on the smaller left galaxy. We're starting to see some extended cloud there. This is neat. That means I would need to lower the gain, and for that I need to stop. Hang on a sec, guys and girls. Hang on. Let me stop the stacking. Let me stop the exposure for a moment. I'm going to lower the gain a bit, okay? I'm going to go down to from 75 down to about, I'd say roughly 55. I think that should do it. I find that overexposed too, so we're going to cut back on the exposure. Hang on, hang on. I think 20 seconds should be plenty. Move, let her go. Alright, let's wait for that 20-second exposure and see what it's going to give us. And from that point on, we could activate the stack and try to get rid of that noise. So bear with me here for a moment, folks. Hey Ski, how are you? Glad you're here. Okay, this is a little bit too dark, so what we need to do is this. We are going to change the gamma setting and the contrast setting. So they're both full blast. I'm going to back them down just a wee bit. Let's wait for the next refresh to happen and see what kind of background we're going to get. Ah, it's getting decent. Alright, let's lower that down a bit more. We could have probably used a bit more gain, but I'm going to leave it that way. It's getting there. Let's do the fine-tuning here to get a good image. Again, just the gamma and the contrast and the gain. Okay. Yeah, probably a bit. Yeah, I'm going to give a bit more gain, folks. Hang on. Let's increase the gain from 55 to about 63. There we go. Okay, let's try this. Probably going to have to readjust the gamma again. I'll do right now and the contrast. And after that we'll start the stack to get rid of this random noise caused by this type of sensor. This is not an interlace, so. Alright, hang on a sec. This is decent. Well, we could probably get a little bit more gain. but I don't want to have too much of a background that's too light either. I think I'll turn up the gain a bit more, folks. Yeah. All right, hang on. Let's fine-tune this to the best as we can. We ended up getting close to what we were, so I'll go up to 70 on the gain out of 160. And we are going to fire up the exposure of 20 seconds. Is it 20? Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to start the stacking. Progressive scan sensors always have a little bit noisier background than usual compared to interlace. Interlace has more sensitivity. Progressive scan doesn't. Okay, let's adjust the here. This is not bad at all. We're getting there. We're going to do the gamma and the contrast a bit. Don't forget, we got to fight with the light pollution here. Here, this is the actual field of view here, folks. Look at the light pollution I got here from Giant Tiger. This is unbelievable. This is the actual field of view, which is quite small. So by increasing the size of the image to 50%, we got a nicely framed galaxy here. And now that I really like what I'm seeing, we're going to start the average stack to get rid of the noise. It's the graininess we want to get rid of. Every refresh, the graininess is at random all over the place. It's never at the same place. So if you stack only 4 or 5 frames, average, that means it's just going to equal each frame. It's going to cancel out all of the noise completely. So now we got a good picture, but we got noise. Let's get rid of it. It's called fine-tuning it. We could take a picture of this and save it the way it is. You could post-process it if you want later. You don't have to. Or we could. It's up to a user what they want to do. I need to move to foil mount, 7.2 magnitude skies. That's why we have the video star party normally, but we've been doing it here now, so we have to deal with the light pollution. Okay, so we got 2 frames taken so far for the stacking process. Just got to wait a little bit more, and oh, this is not bad at all. Yeah, 25 seconds gave us that extra for sure, but 20 seconds seems to even out the details within the spiral. We see more detail in spirals actually. Very nice. Beautiful. There you go. The stacking's starting to take effect a little bit. We're right in the light pollution. The moon's out. It's the best of all the worlds. It's getting there, folks. This is nice. Nice colors in there too. That's what I'm impressed quite a lot about, is the ability to pick up colors at a low amount of exposure. It's an efficient. Back illuminated is not necessarily more sensitive. It's more efficient at collecting lights. Okay, we got a few framed that are stacked right now, so let's wait and see what's going to happen. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. Here we go. The 3rd frame just got laid down. We got 1 more frame. And, oh, is it 4 or 5? Oh, 5. All right, so we're... This is pretty cool. It's just fun tonight. I'm going to pay for it tomorrow morning. I tell you, I got to get up at 3 o'clock to go to work in Ottawa. I got an hour's drive to do from 3:30 to 4:30 in the morning. I will have both eyes in the same socket tomorrow morning in a few hours from now. So this is the last object we're doing. Okay, we got 5 frames stacked. We could probably benefit of the 6th one in there, but nonetheless, this is very, very good. No dark frame, no nothing, just no histogram, just gamma, contrast, gain, and stacking of average 5 frames. There you have it, folks. That's it for me. I'm going to be pulling the plug. It's 11:09, and I think I had enough of that. No, not really. I wish I could stay. If I didn't have to work, I certainly would go on all night. But I'm really glad you folks came over here tonight, share the experience of what the camera could do, and not only that, having fun observing with it. This is not about astrophotography. This is about live viewing. And let me tell you, it's approaching astrophotography more and more every day without having a way to see deep sky targets in color on your computers. Amazing technology. Absolutely amazing technology. Well, David, Jim, Ken, Nino, Matt, Doug in Virginia, Jack, of course, Bernie, and everybody else, thank you so much for coming over. Next clear night, I think we should target stuff that's really hard to see, like Hickson 50. Maybe we should be able to get this with an 8-inch at magnitude 20. Then we could really push the telescope. That would be awesome. But anyways, we'll wait and see, folks. We'll wait and see on the next clear night. Frank, thank you for being here. Bob, of course, thank you. And Dewey, of course. How can we forget Dewey, Bernie, and everybody else? Thanks a lot, folks. I will be pulling the plug, and have a good night, everyone. We'll post a quick report on the new group tomorrow. It'll be fun and interesting.